damn it. Hey everybody, what's going on? Now, if you've watched some of my previous videos, you'll know that I did a video on arcade ports that came to the Nintendo that didn't suck. And as it turns out, there are a couple more that are worth taking a look at. So sit back, relax, and let's look at 3 more arcade ports that came to the NES that are pretty good. Well, this game is definitely no stranger to getting ports on different systems, and that's the game Joust. One of my favorite arcade games, and man, when I say this was ported to everything, just about. It was on, of course, the arcade, Apple II, Atari 2600, the 5200, 7800, Atari 8-bit, the Lynx, IBM PC, Macintosh, and of course NES, which is what we're talking about today. And Joust is an arcade game, and it was developed by Williams Electronics in 1982. And basically, you play a knight flying on an ostrich, and you're supposed to go after enemies that are riding buzzards. I guess that's what they call them. And you pretty much knock them off by hitting them from above, and they turn into an egg, and then you either get that egg, or sometimes it just gets burnt up in the fire. It's one screen, and this is all you see. The only difference is the amount of enemies in each level. And on either side of the platform, it becomes shorter. It starts on fire, and then actually you could fall into the fire as one way to die, or lava, I guess it is. And the other way is, of course, if one of the other enemies bumps into you from above, and that's a way that you get killed. So it's pretty basic. That's pretty much all there is to it. And, you know, it's just one of those old classic games that, let's see how many levels you can get, how far you can go, and how many points you can get. Great game, Joust. Well, Burger Time is definitely one of my favorite games, but this game can be very hard. It is a classic. I don't know anybody that's ever been in an arcade in the 80s that hasn't played this game. And the NES port is an excellent representation of this. And there are actually ports on other systems that are pretty good too. But other systems that this has come out on, the arcade, Apple II, the 2600, ColecoVision, Intellivision, MS-DOS, and others. Now, I have played the Intellivision one, and it is a good port. Unfortunately, the controls are even more difficult with that because of the disc controller that comes with the Intellivision. But the NES one is a really good port. It has good controls, good graphics, good sound. It's an all-around great port. Burger Time was created in 1982 by Data East, and basically you play a chef trying to, make hamburgers by running through the different pieces or nibbling on them, I guess. And once you run through them, they drop down a level. And once they get all the way to the bottom, all the pieces, and make a hamburger, you win. But in the meantime, you're trying to get away from enemies that are different foods, like pickles and sausages and an egg. And the only thing you are armed with is pepper, and you don't get that much of it. It is a great game. I feel so much nostalgia for it. This is the only game that I ever seen my mother enjoy playing, and she was by no means a gamer. So if this game can do that for her, you definitely got to try it out, because I know you'll like it, and it's Burger Time. Exevius might be the first vertical scrolling shooter that I ever played. And of course, it was in the arcade. But the second place I played it was on the NES. And it is a great port of this game. Other systems that it's come on, of course, the arcade, Apple II, 7800, of course, the Famicom Disk System, Commodore, just a whole bunch of other ones. And some of them are oddball, like mobile phones. I've never seen it on the mobile phone, but, you know, I believe it. It's a great game, and it's an easy to pick up game. It doesn't require too much of you. It can get hard fast, especially when you get further, but the more you play it, you get really good really fast. And I love this game. I remember playing it in the arcades. It has a very unique sound, and I love it. It was developed in 1983 by Namco, which is a great company, at least back then. And basically, all it is you are tasked with wiping out the Exevius force before they destroy all of mankind. So basically, you just have to keep going forward and shoot everything that either shoots at you or flies towards you. And that's pretty much it. The graphics and sound on this are fairly good. Now, I played this, I believe, on the 7800. And while it looks close, the sound is not there. And that's with this game, I really love the sound. I love the sound that the shooter makes. I don't know why. It just, every time I hear that sound, it just takes me back. It just makes me so excited to play video games. What can I say? I got a lot of nostalgia for this game. So if you ever get a chance to play it, pick it up on the NES, and it's Exevius. Well, those are just some of the ports that I enjoy playing on the NES. I think that you will too, especially if you are a fan of old arcade games. NES seems to do pretty good with coming out with ports for that. They're not always 100%, but most of them are close enough, and they still hold the fun that the original arcade games had. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe this video, and I'll catch you later.